Ah. Started. Let me not have it play out of my fucking speakers so it fucking like purples, you know? That's not. Lower it a little bit. There we go. Yeah, have it be so that way it's like a pleasant volume relative to my voice. All right. Well, it's been a hot toasty second, hasn't it? There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, it has been a hot toasty second. Is there a... Long story short, work's been fucking busy. Still slash again. So I think I did like one Silk Song stream. I've been playing Helldivers 2 like a little bit, but I feel like doing stuff with things today, so here we are. And I was like, I want to play Silk Song, or I stream it. I was just kind of like, well, I should get back into the C++ mentality. Ooh, that coffee. All right, so last we left off, we were on Learn C++. We were on chapter 2.11. Oh, fuck. You know what I need to remember to do? Let's... Oh, did that sign me in already? All right. So later, let me leave that up, because latest, I got to make sure that the auto upscaling, like the AI upscaling, is turned off. Granted, you're not seeing my face, so who gives a fuck? But yeah, it's, I guess, like, YouTube is applying an AI. If you don't turn it off and opt out of it, YouTube is applying an AI filter to all of your videos. I gotta actually remind Dur about that. And it wouldn't be bad, but they did that with YouTube Shorts. And it makes everything look like it's fucking AI. It doesn't look like a person anymore. It's like, oh, a very good AI approximation of them. Because they look like really smooth, and their movement is like a little too fluid. It looks weird. It moves people from looking real to a video from looking like a real person to Uncanny Valley. And again, I'm working with text, and stuff like that, but I guess it's more that AI upscaling. It actually like gives it a kind of that AI feel when people have seen it apply to their videos so far. So just so I don't get mistaken for AI, I'm going to try and remember to turn it off. But yeah, I'd seen that recently and not happy about it. All right. Anyway, let's get back to it. Emulating a few. Bed. header file usually have a .h extension, sometimes an HP. Alright. We use the include IOStream header file, okay. Wherever you see out, you have to manually type or copy all the declarations related to see out. Let's write a header file to relieve us of this burden. All right. Using an IDE. That thing. Settings, options. Nope, that wasn't it. That wasn't it either. I had a root in 2 seconds. Hold on. I'm getting it. Oh shit, this is why it's bad to go for so long without doing this shit. Oh, no. We did it last time, but because it's been weeks and I haven't had time to practice. Or like set up the stream and like run the stream, it's just been too long. Ugh. I think this is it. Project. I think, what is it? Probably add a new item. Add a header file. Header.h. Think of it once. What is it? Maybe it'll tell us. We need to make this. If I rename this. X, Y. How do I save as? Though. You know what? Let's delete this. Do it. all files. That. Program? You gonna actually show all the files? Buddy? New item H. It's probably add. Oops. We're just gonna uno momento, por favor. Where did I add it? Use it. Let's see. Users that. Repos, learns project. Here we are. Header.h. Let's go. Or do I want it? There we go. And now we do add function variables. Where is... Hold on. Where'd my add.cpp? Oh. Where did it go? Come on. Recent files. Add CPP. There we go. I want this. Our main project we want. Include H. Why is it red? And add CPP. Oh, what am I doing? Oh. Main CPU. Double instead. Here. It's double quotes. Why do we use quotes instead of the like sideways pivots? But anyway, they have this little nice thing. I have too much Halloween candy laying around. Shit. This is a problem. Now in add.h I need to. There we go. Oh, definition for add in the header file. Don't do this. Well, Control Z is always your friend. My friend, I know. After pre-processing from there and then okay. Not booked to the function variable definitions of your header files for now. Okay. Uno momento. Dad's texting me. Yeah. Who are things? Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know if there's much better combination than chocolate coffee. So good. Do not include plus CP or .cpp files yet. Ooh. Ah, my neck. Oh, look at this. They do answer it. We just had to be patient and read. Why do we use that one? Possible a header file with the same file name might exist in multiple directories. Gives the preprocessor clues to where to look. We use angle brackets for telling header file we didn't write ourselves. Okay, so that's like a library you downloaded. Or, oh, excuse me. Versus one that we made ourselves. Why does an IO stream have an .h extension? Okay, yeah. Oh. Eyes are fucking... Probably have something in those eyelashes, but like a... one of those like sleepy, rusty buildups, but fuck. It's itchy just on the underside of like, on the bottom eyelashes of my right eye. Left eye is completely fine. The top of my right eye is fine. It's kind of itchy there on the outside, and I'm just, ugh. Other than, or maybe one of the eyelashes is like ready to fall out, but it's not. Okay, so if it includes... Okay, that's just semantics by the ANSI committee. Ooh. Visual Studios users, that's me. Click on your project in the Solution Explorer. Properties. Plus plus. Solution Explorer. Where the flying fuck is the Solution Explorer? Oh, View Solution Explorer. Oh, this is what I'd like to have popped up all the time. Where did it go away? I don't think did I close it? Maybe I closed it. Okay. Properties. Include directories. Okay. All right. I'm in the content or file will make use of something that's cleared. File. Good. Good. Include the other header. So foo.h. We want to use string view. Oh boy, this is a fucking long ass chapter here. Section, whatever you want. includes a header file. You also get any other header files that are included by that header, and any other header files that transit includes. Okay, yeah. Generally not beyond the context of headers that are included transitively. It's documented that that's a thing. Fucking. Okay. Change over time or use different systems. That happens. Certain systems. Explicitly, it's easily avoided by explicitly including all the header files content if your code requires. Why does the Halloween version of candies taste like pretty darn good compared to their usual counterparts? Like, I got a Kit Kat and it's like, oh, it's vampire shaped or something. Maybe it's because I haven't had Kit Kats in like forever, but it tastes better than a Kit Kat. Like, I remember a Kit Kat tasting. Maybe it's because it's using more cookie. Now that I'm old, the less sugary something is, the better. Oh, somebody's using this for a class. Done. Their professor's looking on that as the TA. Header guards, okay. Variable or function could only have one definition, yeah. Square sides, and yeah, it's gonna get square sides twice. Pre-processor check whether if not defined. So if it's the first time we're using unique square name, or in this case, we define square h first, it will have not been defined, so therefore it'll include it. If it's been included again, it will ignore the first one. All your header files should have header guards on them. Except in all caps, using numbers for spaces. So square H would have not define square H, define square H. So get this into square H, wave H. So you put the header guards in the header. That means square will include wave. So it's going to, first it'll define square H, the preprocessor will define square H. So it'll do this. Wave H will include the if not defined square H, define it. But this time square H has been included already, so this doesn't get included. So this will get included, and then when it includes wave H gets included, but the square H within wave H is like, oh, it's here already, so this doesn't get included. So it would just be this. It's pretty much in terms of code. Okay. So an add H really should have find add H find add H as a header guard. disregards do not prevent a header from being included once into different code files. Get square perimeter. So he's trying to get square H. Square.h is included both in main CPP and square CPP. So now square H and square sides and good square perimeter, and then functions CP. Okay, we're getting there. So this is kind of a lesson on organization to a degree. Can't we just avoid definitions and header files? Unless you include header guards, something you shouldn't do. Two cases where it's necessary to put non-function definitions in a header file. You create your own types. Yep. They're typically defined under header files, so the type definitions can be propagated out to the code. Got a header guard. Code file can end up with multiple. He's the wrong flag. Pragma once. Oh, hey, it's the thing I saw before. Most compilers support a simpler alternative form of header guards using Pragma pre-processing directive. Pragma once. Same purpose as header guards to avoid a header file from being included multiple times. With indef, not defined, defined, and end if. Oh, I forgot to put my end if in this header file. Ugh. Not good at this. Pragma once were requested the compiler guard the header house. Most projects Pragma once works fine, and the developers prefer it because it's easier and less error prone. Many IDEs will also auto include Pragma once at the top of a new file through the. Let's see, there's one known case where Pragma once will typically fail if header file is copied so that it exists in multiple places in the file system. On both copies, the header included. Header guards will headers. Pragma once won't. Because the compiler won't realize. Oh, yawn. It's identical content. I'm a yawny bitch today. It's kind of a lazy Sunday. Woke up in the late afternoon. Called Parnell, said, "Hey, what you doing?" Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm old. That's what that reference is. I'm old. And Lonely Island songs just kind of live in my head rent-free for the rest of my life, I'm pretty sure. If I ever get old, and I get dementia or, you know, something like that, and if I ever live to the ripe old age of, I don't know, like 82 and the microplastics haven't got me yet, then you know, I start developing like dementia, I swear I'll forget everything, but there'll still be lonely. Like, I'll still be like, I'm on a boat, yeah. Just hearing T-Pain play over and over in my head on fucking I'm on a boat. Well, I love you. Warning, the Pragma directive was designed for compiler implementers to do it, use it for whatever they desire. Pragmas are supported and what those pragmas have fully implemented. Don't expect not Pragma once. So what are you complaining about? I thought because I'm pragmaing once, I don't need an end if anymore. Just curious if it'll compile. I fucked it up too much. It did. All right. Look at that. Look at that. How to design your first programs. Oh! Oh, baby. That's a... Alright, let's look closely at how to design a program. new programmers often have trouble figuring out how to convert that idea into actual code, but it turns out you already have many of the problem solving skills you already acquired from everyday life. The important thing to remember and the hardest thing to do is to design your program before you start coding. Yes. Programs like architecture, try to build a house without an architectural plan, it'll suck. You have the foundation just like 7 feet high in your living room. You know, you'll have like 2 windows and like your bed will be vertical. Yeah, so usually, at least in the past and during my more intensive and consistent programming days in college. Oh, I'm drinking too much water. I'm fucking burping like a fucker. How's flat water making me burpy? I don't know. But yeah, I would write a code idea. Or like if I had a project to do, I would just like kind of write it out, like what's the goal and everything. I would usually follow that up by like with some pseudocode. So I would just be like, you know, I'd be like, okay, main, you know, say I need to like play a fart button noise, you know, I'd be like, define the fart button pins on the microcontroller. I don't know. Let's say find the speaker pins. Then like loop for input on button press. Be like in that loop, like if button pressed, you know, play art noise. Then you gotta go back and you'd be like, okay, define the pins. I need to include the fart sound file, stuff like that. You just kind of like get it all done. You maybe make a function up. You'd be like, okay, that to implement this, you know, you gotta say like you want to press the fart button, or like say like pull fart button function, and like you want to say like play fart button function. You do stuff like that, and then you can kind of start coding for very simple stuff. I would imagine maybe, and we'll get into this, but maybe there's more prep work for a larger, more complex project. There's probably a lot more prep work because you probably got to do stuff like, okay, what goes where, what goes into files, you know, who does what. Define your goal. Should we illustrate it in a sentence or two? Find the requirements. Constraints of the solution need to abide by budget, timeline, space, memory. Those capabilities the program must exhibit to, you know, that'll cover the user's needs. Requirements should be focused on the what, not the how. Yeah. Define your tool targets and backup plan. Okay. When you're an experienced programmer, this will include stuff like what's the target architecture and operating system it'll run on. You know, is it running on somebody's Chromebook or is it running on a Red Ripper, you know, 200 gigabyte, 200 gigabytes of RAM with like a 10 gig network connection server so we can support like multiple users at once and stuff. Is it running on Linux? Is it running on Windows? Is it running on Mac? I think those are basically the only three that still are. You have to write your. Actually, if you're saying Linux, you have to define which version of Linux as well. You kind of have to do that on Windows. I haven't programmed on a Mac before, so I'm oblivious to those requirements, but generally Windows, if you make it for one Windows device, usually it works on other Windows devices. Linux has many different flavors, so something that works on Red Hat may not work on like Mint. Those are the only two I can think of off the top of my head. So, not an Ubuntu. Set of tools. Are you going to be writing alone or as part of a team? Right, as part of a team, you might want to split these headers and add C++. You know, somebody will take the main function, whereas, you know, you might be doing add CPP and add H, and, you know, forking it in there. You gotta fork it in there. As a new programmer, generally I'm on Windows, so I'm going to write a program for Windows. Generally, might do some Linux because I do have a Linux machine available. Not to mention, very simple to get VirtualBox up and running with like an Ubuntu, like a free Ubuntu version run on it. So you can zip it up and mail it to yourself if you want to back it up. Really thought about doing that. Cloud storage, SFTP to upload to server control. Version control system. Oh my gosh. What if I do that with my spare computer I got laying around? What if I do that with my old laptop? What if I turn it into a GitHub machine? Oh my gosh, that would be great. See, this is why. This is why thinking has happened. I wonder if I could turn one of my old computers into like a GitHub server for myself. Like hard problems and easy problems. Yeah. Clean the house. Say this is your main function. You need to clean the house. Okay, what do I need to do to clean the house? To qualify as clean the house, I need vacuum the carpets, clean the bathrooms, clean the kitchen. So those will be functions. And functions of those functions will be like scrub the toilet, wash the sink, clear the countertops, clean the countertops. Yeah. This is kind of what I would do a lot. This is where I would spend a good amount of time usually when I was making a program. I would be doing something like this, effectively. Yeah. Final testing. If it doesn't work, fix it. Words of advice on when writing programs. Keep it simple to start. Brand vision, but fucking keep it simple, stupid. Add features over time. Once you have a simple program working well, then you can add features. Focus one area at a time. Don't try and code everything at once. Don't divide your attention across multiple tasks. Do one thing at a time. Ah, that's just good life advice right there. I'm running into that at work. Okay. List each piece as you go. So you add the field. Make sure it doesn't crash. Make sure your computer isn't like roaring at like 100% usage. To display the field on your screen. Add you. Make sure you can go up, like right, left, down. Make sure like any like invisible barriers to like keep you in bounds works. That way you don't like fall off the edge and go into an infinite loop of just falling forever. Don't Invest in perfecting early code. First draft is rarely good. For them, programs tend to time as you add capabilities, find better structures. Adding documentation, full compliance with best practices, making optimizations. Okay. Optimize maintainability, not performance. Premature optimization is the root of all evil. Yeah, they spend too much time trying to think of how to micro-optimize your code. You know, if a for loop is faster than a while loop, and if I can do it in one way or the other, it rarely matters. Most performance could come from good program structure, right tools and capabilities, best practices. Okay. I like how the last 12 chapters has been reduced to this. This is nothing. It makes it seem like nothing, but there was a whole fucking... Ugh. Ugh. What a terrible noise that is. Ugh. Terrible. Anywho. Ugh. Like cleared out my throat though. It felt kind of good to do. Function named read. Don't do that, I'll be honest. It's one of those things where I'm out of school, so I'm like, I don't want to take a quiz. I don't want to take a test. All right. Section 3, let's see, we've been at this for an hour. I don't know, maybe I just haven't had enough caffeine today, but we should keep going because I only covered two things. I mean, there are three things. It was three longer things, but still. If I go back to here, we did. Maybe we just keep going. All right. Did the music get louder or something? Like, I feel like it wasn't this loud before. Turn it down a little more. Yes. There we go. That's odd. When I started, it was at like, I had to have it at like negative, like 37 dB or negative 26, and now I got it at like negative 36 dB. OBS software. That's kind of odd. I just looked over and I was like, wait a minute. I didn't root into a second. Syntax and semantic errors. Semantic errors. It's easy to make them, it's hard to find them. Yeah, finding a missing semicolon in 1,000 pages or in 1,000 lines is a fucking bullshit thing. The fact it is horse ass. Even finding a missing semicolon in 100 lines of code can be kind of a horse's ass. So like it's awful. It's actually terrible. And we have to learn how to use the integrated debugger. Not part of the C++ standard, but very important to be a programmer in general. Okay, yep, makes sense. Syntax errors. Quirky language. Syntax when you write a statement that's not valid according to the grammar of C++. There's missing semicolons, mismatched parentheses or braces. Yeah, like this. Missing the closed brace. Variable name start with a number. There's a semicolon in here. Operator plus plus does does not exist. Oh yeah, right here x plus plus plus. Missing semicolon at the end of the return 0. Ugh. I will say it's kind of interesting that they already taught us in chapter 2 about multiple files and headers, because granted I never really got too high into the programming languages and I stuck with C for the most part, and as a working person I've learned to some degree Python. I don't think I ever had in either of those, in either college courses or in just trying to learn myself, I've ever had to deal with multiple files and like header files and stuff like that. So it's very interesting they teach it to you like in like chapter 2. They did teach us how to like include library files written by other people, but like this is effectively making that library file. Um yeah, interesting. Oh yeah, b equals 0, so it's division by 0 is undefined in mathematics. I do wonder if the. Sorry, I had a thought. I wonder if the IDE has any protections of against division again by 0. Like, would it, when you try and compile this and run it, would it catch this and be like, "Hey, you're dividing by 0"? Or would it lead to just this statement leading to, like, it would print out as undefined? debugging process. Oh boy. But all bugs stem from a simple premise. Something that you thought was correct isn't. Yay! Everyone loves it. Find the root cause. Look at this. Function that's supposed to be performing addition, but it performs subtraction. When you say 5 plus 3 is equal to add 5 and 3, it'll go up here and I'll be like, oh, 5 minus 3, which is 2 instead of 8. You get to say, oh, why is it doing minus instead, or lower instead? And you look up here, and oh, there's a minus sign instead of a plus. Oh. You retest, changing to a plus, and you see that it works. Strategy for debugging. Okay. When debugging, a vast majority of the time is spent finding out where the error actually is. I once spent 2 fucking days in an hour with a TA trying to debug my program. And it turned out it was literally a single missing semicolon on one line. But for some reason, my IDE, when it gave out the error code in here, like, for example, let me remove it from here. Try and run it. No. This expected a semicolon and syntax error. More importantly, the syntax error missing semicolon before return. Or something saying like, hey, this, because it's reading it, because when you do remove that semicolon, it's effectively reading it like this. You take out the white space for the human readability, it's effectively looking at this and saying that's an invalid line. So it would give an error either returns at the line for return 0, or it would give an error on the line before, because it was like in this case that my IDE is intelligent enough to say, hey, you're missing a fucking semicolon. It was not doing that for some reason. Oddly enough, it was in the main function too. If I remember that error correctly. But I was literally like missing a semicolon, and it was saying I had an error on like line 50 in a function. Now I was working, and the error itself was actually on like line 200, which wasn't even calling that function or having anything to do with the function that it was pointing at, saying that there was an error in it. So I literally was just scrolling through my code and being like, why isn't it compiling even? Everything's working. I've double checked the syntax and all the functions. I've looked up to this point, like it sucked. I spent a day looking at it, like a literal fucking like 10 hours of just like do a little bit of homework, other classes homework and like projects and stuff, go back to the fucking program, read through it, see if I see anything with fresh eyes. Nope. Go back, do some other homework or something, look at the program again, along with like just staring at the fucking code. This was all very early in I think this was literally my first semester of coding too. So it's my first time coding. We haven't learned a lot, so I'm like, what the fuck could it be? We've learned like 5 things. We just like finished learning how to write a function effectively. So, or I should say a function that's just not like main. And yeah, it was, man, that IDE, I don't know if the IDE sucked or if it was just a weird scenario where it was just like, but yeah, I put in the semicolon, compiled just fine. And oddly enough, I think the program worked. Like as soon as I fixed that semicolon, I think I like ran into like one more semantic error versus a syntax one where it was just like, oh hey, I forgot like to display something correctly or like, but yeah, no, that was dumb. It was so fucking dumb. It frustrated me no end. Oh gosh, that was actually terrible. Oddly enough, I felt like in that, for some reason, that first semester of coding, we were learning Java in Java for some reason. Then we switched to C after that for all of our other classes. But like, I oddly found assembly when we had to program in assembly. I found it easier and more intuitive than Java, because lines are very simple in assembly. You're a computer and you can only do so much. You can only like add, subtract. If you want to multiply, it's just adding a fuck ton of times. If you want to divide, there's a way to do it, like too, but it's can be a little complicated if I remember correctly. But yeah, it was saying 1 plus 2 or like 1 or like 2 minus 1 is fucking like 3 lines in assembly code. I remember correctly, like it's actually atrocious. Do I have some of my old assembly? Hold on. See it. Just for shits and giggles. I'm off on a tangent, but you know, I can. I do this in assembly or C? Let's see, that's 358. We're switching to Arduino here. Let's see. Oh no, this is definitely in C. Oddly enough, not a huge amount of code for what it does. That's not it. Part of the problem is I named all my fucking shit after ECE. It'll be like called like ECE like 368, and I'll fucking what that means. Where am I? Who am I? Oh, MATLAB. I forgot. We'd use MATLAB for some fucking reason in like a few of our classes. Let's see. Man, I really wish I organized better back in college. Boy howdy, this is kind of an ass. Those are land reports. Let's see. Simulator. Ooh, no, that was my fucking... I have like 8-bit comparators and shit. Man, I used to know things. You ever just like realize that just because you're out of practice on something, it's like you never had that knowledge in the first place? Like, I literally, for some classes, I remember having to design like effect. We literally made a small computer for one of our, not even like a final exam or like a final like tester's project or something like that. It was like one of the average run-of-the-mill projects was like, oh hey, design part. You and a partner are gonna design both the hardware and the software, and you're gonna make your own language. And you're going to have a memory that you feed into a self-made processor to do a task. So you had to get like the multiplexer to like parse the language. You had to make the language and then translate it to binary and that into bytes. That way you could pass it to the processor. Shit was wild. I can't remember assembly. Hold on. Let me see if I can find an assembly language example. I kind of want to show people. Basic syntax. Oh, why aren't they doing like a big thing on it? It's a pain in the ass, like, that's all it is. That's all you need to know is the fact that, like, assembly is a pain in the ass. Let's finish up this, because I'm getting off the rails here, so let's just finish up this chapter on strategy for debugging. Let's see. You notice a problem? Want to track the... Because I'm just getting sidetracked too easily. This problem, you want to track down the specific cause. Put the names in the alphabetical order, but you notice them printed in opposite order. The problem's probably in the sort names function. Clear. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, looking at every line of code that's thousands of lines can take a really long time, and it can also be super fucking boring. Oh shit. Use the problem, run the program. Put that problem so you can narrow down where you're finding it. Stuff clear and precise steps I can use. Well, pause it. Play a game of high or low. Ask you to guess a number of 1 in 10 for each guess you make. Too high, too low, or correct. 5 is too low, 8 is too high, 6 is too low, 7 is correct. I think, isn't the strategy to go halfway on each of those? Like if it's like a number between 1 and 100, you guess 50. If that's high or low, you've narrowed down all the numbers by half. Makes it an exponential issue versus a like set number issue. See. We have no idea where the bug is, but we know it executes in the beginning of the program, where it starts to exhibit the incorrect symptom. You know that narrows down what parts of the program you've touched between those two spots. Get some educated guesses to where the issue could be. Yeah, so all right. We are going to call it, well, not we, I am going to call it at section 3.4 here, because my brain has decided to turn off because it's an old person brain. Should figure out like an overlay for this what's playing. It's down the bottom of the screen here somewhere. Like figure out how to overlay it. Like with just like while it's just like take this section, keep it here while I'm working on this. I guess I could probably pretty easily do that with just like multiple windows. I will say Windows 11, this Windows setup stuff is fantastic. It works great. I wish you could like right click the desktop or something and have one of the options be like this. Like right click, say like instead of like new, have like another option here to just be like window setting. You could have like a set of pre-saved windows in their setup, and like so you could be like, oh, I want to open up Firefox, in my case, be like here with a small like cut out here, and in my case my Visual Studio, and open up my Visual Studio here in this size of a window. That'd be so cool. Windows 12 developers, maybe think of doing something like that, because honestly, like, as much shit as people give Windows 11, as much shit as I've given Windows 11, this is fucking great. The Windows organization is fantastic. The auto snapping is so helpful, because even as it is, I just opened up both my programs, I hovered here, I did this, and then I just fucking scroll it on over. So simple, so intuitive, easy peasy. You don't have to open up both windows and try and like auto adjust them because it's not full screen anymore. It's so nice. You could keep going down that track of making it a little bit nicer for your next revision of Windows. That would be excellent. I know AI is the fucking schmurple. It's the thing that everyone's focusing on, because boy howdy. Yeah, look at this. GitHub Copilot is sitting up here in the fucking corner. Like, granted, I think AI would be a great, like, quote, co-pilot to finding syntax errors and even some semantic errors before you even compile and debug the code. Like, if it just had a little thing where it had, like, say I do this, I just see this quick action here. Like, that would, if I had AI to do a more complex version of that, cool. Cool beans, man. But as it stands, I don't know what's happening to it. Obviously, they're pushing at my job, because every job, you could be a janitor and they're going to ask you, how can you implement AI into your job to make it so that way we can fire one of the 2 janitors at this place or whatever. You know, like, they're literally looking at implementing AI into every facet of the workplace. Boy, does it not need to, not need to go everywhere, but B, it's... I don't know if they, like... I don't know what they did. If they started pulling from too many sources, including, like, bad sources for it to, like, machine learn and train on, or what. But I remember, like, a year ago when some of my coworkers who were like, oh, this AI stuff's kind of cool, because they're the youth, and they actually had that stuff when they were going through like college and all that, somewhat, and they're like, oh yeah, let's just ask ChatGPT about this weird, you know, issue with the router you're having. It was just like, all right, sure, I give up. I've been working at this error for like an hour. What's it say? And sometimes it'd be correct, actually. But I figure lately it's just sucking ass. I don't know what they did, but like, ChatGPT isn't like giving. I don't think I've run into an issue where I'm like, man, I having a weird issue. I wonder if can you, friendly coworker, type this into ChatGPT, because I'm not paying for that shit. And just for this one question I have every few months, and see what it comes up with. And it's fucking wrong like almost every time now. It used to at least be like 50% right, but like now it's just fucking wrong. It's just bad. I don't know what they did to it, but it's just like it's kind of sucking all of a sudden. I don't know what happened. I was going to actually get like GitHub's Copilot and stuff, like get the GitHub like Copilot and sign up for that and start using it. But it's like 20-30 bucks a month for something that, like, again, because I'm busy at my job, I don't have time to like sit down every day and learn C++ and write code. And then on top of that, I probably would want it from once I started going through. I've almost finished this, you know, learn C++ section. And I start trying to write actual code. But yeah, like, fuck. Like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore, honestly. Like, if it's just fucking wrong on stuff that I later figure out myself. Like, I don't know. Like, the one guy, it was very funny because, like, he started running into the issue of, like, he had to ask. He asked ChatGPT, like, hey, how do you do something like this in like Python? Because he doesn't know Python. No problem. It's not what he went to school for. It's something that's extra kind of in my line of work is programming is a little bit of an extra in my line of work. It makes our job simpler, but it's not necessary. He was like, oh yeah, hey, how do I do this? Or like he was like trying to get it to troubleshoot or something like that. He was like, are you sure? It gave him an answer. He's like, are you sure that's right? It doesn't seem right. And it was just like, oh, I'm sorry. I fucking lied to you with full confidence before. And I'm just like, man, if this is like if this is the level of AI that they're gonna try and shove into like robots, and like there has to be a better version of this out there somewhere. They have to be like, I don't remember it doing it like fucking up so bad before. Like, are they just like taking machine learning from places? Are they like scraping data from places they shouldn't be anymore? Or have they like lost all data? Have they stopped like actually doing machine learning where they have the AI like iterate, then the machine iterate, and like have a person or something say like good or bad result, so that way it knows like when it's correct and when it's not for future cases when it comes across something it hasn't seen before. It can, like, have they stopped doing that? Or is that just not available in like the consumer available versions anymore? Because it feels like it's just fucking wrong now. And if that's going to be driving a car, if it's just going to be like, oh, hey, I ran a red light. Like, the fuck? Like, shit, man. If it's going to be like on an assembly line that people are on as well, like, even for the time being that's learning to do a job, like, if it freaks out and like starts like, it has like a welder or a soldering iron or something like that, like something that can be somewhat dangerous, and there's other people on the line or something like that, or even if there's just other machinery and like it fucks up and you have to shut down the line for like several hours, that's potentially millions of dollars. If it hurts a person, that's like priceless. You way fucked up if it hurts a people. Like, shit. That's why I don't trust AI. Because every time I interact with it, it's dumb. It's atrocious. Ugh, I need to start, like, implementing it at work, though. I still don't trust it. Every time it fucking does something, I have to double check. Like, every time I try and use that quote. Try is a very somewhat limited term here. I tried and then I just like double check its work every time and then I don't use it for like a month because I'm like, it was wrong again. Fuck you. I'm not using you. And then we get another email about like, hey, remember to implement AI, this new AI feature that we just got. And I'm just like, you son of a bitch. Just stop making me AI. Like, stop telling me to AI. Sure, I'll have it try and write an email for me again. Oh, look at that. I basically, to tell the AI what I wanted, because I can't speak to it, it's type chat only. Like, I basically had to type the email myself, told AI to write it, and then on top of that, I had to double check it and say it, oh boy, are you fucking just, this is an awful email and did not get across what I need to. So I had to just write it myself. Oh gosh, I really need to try that. That reminds me, I need to try those emails again. Apparently my coworkers are having it write them emails for them just fine. Now I've been in a fucking crunch on like emails and shit at work lately, so if I can save time on that. But I don't know, maybe I'm fucking cursed or something. I haven't gotten any of that stuff to fucking work yet. Who knows? Who really knows anything? Oh, fuck. Sorry to end on such a dour note. I got sidetracked with the fucking GitHub Copilot shit here. Anyway. Y'all have a good day. Hopefully, who knows, maybe I'll try and email with AI this week and it'll actually work for the first time ever. And I won't have to write an email, tell it to write this email in a more friendly way, and just have to rewrite my already written email that I asked AI to rewrite, but it didn't do it well. Who knows? Maybe it'll actually work this time. I don't think so, but maybe it will. Probably not. Fuck, I am cursed with technology when it comes to technology, aren't I? You just don't work around. I swear, sometimes it's just like, things break. I don't know why. Anyway, have a good night, day, wherever you're at. Morning, evening. Have a good sleep, maybe. I don't know. It's 4:20 p.m. here, so